Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So in this video, we're going to show you a very common question that I get whenever I conduct classes, and that is how you can compare two tables and check if a certain data exists in the other table. So for example here, I have my table 1 and it has some data in it. And of course, I have another table and I want to check if the data from uh, table 2, okay, are all found in table 1. So you would notice that I have data like until row 106 here, and I have here table 2, which means that, and to check, it has more rows in it. So meaning I have more data here in table 2 compared to table 1. So what I want to know is what or which rows here, which transaction IDs are found, okay, are new ones, okay, versus table 1. So to do this, okay, we have to use a function, and that is COUNTIFS. Some people would use conditional formatting to do this. However, if you want something more tangible, like a cell that contains a value in it that has a number that can tell you or something that can mark it, then you can use COUNTIF for that. Now, before I answer this solution, I hope you can like and subscribe the channel. It really helps us a lot in creating these videos for you. Okay, so for now, we're going to insert a new column or anywhere. You can also do it here under column G if you want. But for the sake of easy comparison, I'm going to just insert it here. So next is I'm going to duplicate my uh, file so that you could see that how to do it side by side. I'm not going to duplicate it like do a copy of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to view and then create a new window so that I have a second instance of the same file, okay, of in the screen. So this doesn't really copies or duplicates the file. It just creates a second window of the same file. It makes it easy to see how the solution will work. So I'm going to drag table 2 over here on the left side and another one on the left side as well. And then on the left side, I'm going to switch it to table 1 so that we can see side by side the two tables in the same file. And if you're wondering if this will work if you have different files instead of different sheets, yes, it will. So later I'm going to show you that it also works in other files. Okay. So for now, I'm going to go here to my second table. I'm going to make it larger so it's easy to see on your screen. And I'm going to use the function count if or COUNTIF will also work given that we only have one criterion and that is the transaction ID. So either you use COUNTIF if you only have one condition to check and COUNTIFs if you have more. But for now, I'm going to use COUNTIF since I'm going to only use the transaction ID. So I'm going to COUNTIF the column from the other table. I hope you realize how this was created. I started with COUNTIF in table 2, open parentheses, and then I need to identify the range that I'm going to search, and I immediately went to the other table because that's the column, okay, where I want to check, okay, the existence of the criterion which is found in the table going back here. So the table here is from the other file right away, and you go back to your file that has the formula and click the transaction ID. So the two arguments of our formula came from the two separate worksheets. And then we're going to now close this and then hit enter. So you will get a 0 if that data 2492 is not in the previous file. So I'm going to double click and I have conditional formatting in this worksheet activated. So yours, if you don't have this, should not be read automatically. So here we have four zeros, meaning we have this 24923167 until 5167 not found in the other table. So just to check, I'm going to do a control F or a find here on the other side, and I'm going to look for, let's say, the I can see there 1273. It's the first instance. Enter, and it's already there. The first one. Notice that. On the other hand, if I'm going to search for 2492, the first one with zero, then you see that we're getting an error that it couldn't be found. So it shows us that the formula is working, and you may wonder if it will only work if the numbers are all together, because here accidentally all the zeros are in the same place. Okay, there are no other zeros in the data. Well, yes, it doesn't really matter how this data is arranged. If this is sorted differently, then you will have zeros. Okay, let me show you, in scattered, okay, throughout the place. So I'm going to sort this, okay, according to column A, for example. Okay, click OK, and you will see that the zeros will simply be found, okay, scattered in that column. So it works even in a different order. Now let's check if this will also work in the other side. So let's see if this, okay, table here, if there are any differences, like is everything here found in the other table. So if that is the case, then you simply have to perform a count if again and do the same procedure. You have to count if in the other column, okay, and then comma, and then indicate the criterion in the same table where you are creating the formula. So again, it's the same idea wherein the two arguments of our count if came from the different worksheets, and then close, and then enter. So we're getting a 1 here. Let's see if there's any zeros for this table. Oh yes, there is. So we're getting a 0 here. 2009 is not found in the other table. So just to check, I'm going to do a find here on the other side, 2009, and we're getting a not found. So this is how you can compare two tables and check if the data exists in the other table. This is also the same method if you want to look for duplicates or similarities between two files. So just to show you that it will work even in another file, I'm going to transfer table 2 into a different file. Okay, oops. So I'm going to create a mover copy, and then I'm going to declare a new workbook for that. So you should see that we have the original file over here, okay, and I have book 3, a new file, which contains table 2. So we're going to perform, okay, the same thing that we did. I'm going to insert a new column here, and then do a count if, open parentheses, and then we're going to do a count if of the one in the other table, comma, and then check if that table contains the transaction ID that I have here. And then close, and then enter. So we're getting 1. Double click. Okay, my conditional formatting again triggered. And it's the same. So I have the zero scattered all throughout. And this just shows you that the formula will still work even if you have another file involved. The only difference is that in the formula, you will now see the name of the file included in the formula itself, because Excel